Hello, everybody. The second Bright Future Friday. My name is Lawrence, member of the Youth Advisory Council, here to present Bright Future Friday along with my other members. Gracious.
Hello, I'm also with the Youth Advisory Council. My name is Thomas Moore. That's it.
And today we're diving into the artist industry, and we have three lovely panelists, which we'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Hey, what's up? I'm Fresh. How you doing?
Great.
I go by Nagaso. I'm a emotional bass painter and musician.
My name is Breezy.
And great to meet you all again. And I guess we could start off. The first question is we could dive into what do all of y'all do? What do y'all careers look like?
Ladies first.
Okay. I DJ, I make beats, I write songs, I record artists, and I also record myself as an artist too. But right now, I'm more so behind the scenes, learning still and trying to master my skills.
So I'm an artist and musician. So I do a lot of like sipping paints. I sell a lot of canvases, and I started my own company doing that, painting off my emotions, and I also record records and write songs. Have a song that charted, and yeah.
I DJ. I manage artists, show coordinate, work in the school system. I do a 20% own 20% of Nacho Bangers,
Mm.
and that's just a lot of things.
So I guess we could start off with the foundation. How did y'all first get involved with your field? What gravitated you towards doing what y'all doing? And just basically detailing like y'all beginnings.
You said,
So
how do we get involved?
Yeah, how do you get involved and how did it start for you? Like just take us through the foundation.
Ladies
for
first.
me, it started as a child. I used to play instruments and sing, and like I was involved in like plays and like musicals. So I was always really creative. But then I kind of fell off of the creative process and was focusing more on my academics and sports for like college and stuff. And then when I got to college, I tapped back into my passion for music, and I just kind of took it and ran with it there.
For me, I started off with music first, and I found the passion for painting later, and it came through a heartbreak. And I found out I was actually pretty good at it, and that kind of spiraled into what I am doing now, but solely off of heartbreak. That's how I got into it.
For me, I started off DJing at 14 in my middle school hallways, and when I got to high school, I was graduating and I could play basketball, but then I chose music. So I went. My first actual artist that I ever worked with was Roscoe Dash. I went on a tour of him, and after that, it opened up many doors and got connections to labels and different things like that, which created me a foundation in the city to be able to manage artists and take artists to the next level. Which now I'm managing A1 Beam, and we're in the process of signing a deal. So, and I won't stop.
Over here. So what goes into your creative process, whether it's making beats, planning out an event? Can y'all take us through how does it start? How do y'all work with your creations? How do y'all plan it out?
Me personally, I try to create as much as possible, but it's kind of also off of feeling. So one day I might feel like mixing, another day I might deal with an experience or go through something, and then it might inspire me to write a song about it. It kind of just depends, but I just like to stay creative and just keep going.
For me, I have to be going through something. like like I said, I'm an emotional based painter. If I don't feel something, I can't create anything.
Mm.
So how I find inspiration is different. I like to have different muses. Women are some of my biggest inspirations for what I create. But even the city of Baltimore, like I'm not originally from here, but just walking around different areas is inspiring. When you
Mm.
see the different murals, so
For me, it's just like starting off a day of like what's on the schedule, what's on the agenda, um, what do we have to do, whether it's interviews or go to New York for a different label meeting or a show. It's always something building towards the camp, but the camp is which we call the crew, and figuring out what we could do to better bring a vision to the artist or
Mhm.
awareness to the artist. So it's just like meetings and phone conversations while still working and building my own life too. So
Mm.
yeah.
yeah.
Great to hear. We have a chat really curious to know is what is the most challenging parts about y'all jobs? What do y'all find to be the most difficult?
Hmm.
I would say for me, I would say about the DJing part, it's like consistency because it could be like 1 month I could have X amount of gigs, and then the next month it could be a little bit slower. And sometimes, especially in the beginning, it was a little bit discouraging. But I guess like just being resilient and consistent, like the more you do something, the better you get out of it, get at
Mhm.
it. And then also, um, it taught me to diversify my portfolio and like find other skills so I don't put all my like things in one basket.
I would say the hardest part is, like she said, um, trying to stay inspired. That's what I find the most difficult. With all the distractions going on, it's it's so easy to get sidetracked from what your original goal is. So for me, that's what I find to be the most difficult thing is trying to stay inspired and keep going when you see other people doing things and not compare yourself or um I don't know, just like trying to run your own race.
Mhm.
For me, it's just like uh trying to create um different for me is like it's just trying to create a different outlet for other artists and
Mhm.
have them see the vision and believe because of like how the city is, the unity part. So it's
Mhm.
I just don't want to work with one artist. I want to work with more. And the artists that I'm working with, we're so far gone that like we're like days away from signing our deal, and just bringing like basically making people believe it's like one of the hardest pieces.
Mhm. Something that was mentioned that I really found interesting is not comparing yourself. And I feel like being in the artist industry, a lot of people can fall victim to comparing themselves to somebody. Maybe you think my beat is not as good as that person, or my art is not as good as that person. How do you prevent that? How do you, as like, stay on course with your goal and not look at what other people endure is doing?
I
Um,
would, oh, go ahead.
Criticism is a part of the game. It's not what you hear or what you go through, is where you apply it. So people are gonna talk about your music, people are gonna talk about the way you style yourself as an artist, but you can't worry about one people when you have a million fans. So it's not about what you hear. Like I said, it's about where you apply it. Because even when somebody's saying something wrong, it could mean something good. It's just where you apply it in your mind and in your career.
I agree.
Mhm.
Um, I would say for me, it's just not letting it not don't let it turn you into a hater. Like how you said, somebody might have a negative opinion about something, and it may turn out uh for your benefit if you take that advice. If you could put your feelings to the side and listen to what they're saying,
Mhm.
it could help you. You never know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think criticism is good. That's how you get better.
Mhm.
Yes.
In the chat, they're curious to see if any of those hardships that y'all face, any of those challenges y'all face, have ever made y'all give up or think about giving up.
Um, I would say definitely. I was on a tour. I was doing a Def Jam tour at the time, and everything's going good. My music's just starting to get heard, and then I get sick. Right? They find a tumor, and I'm thinking I'm about to die. I'm thinking it's all over, and I have my surgery. And while I'm sitting on the bed, I'm on bed rest for like 3 months. I write a song prior to surgery thoughts, and it takes off. And but before that moment happened, I was feeling like I wanted to give up. I was giving up on life. I was giving up on my craft, and but I kept pushing, and God had a different plan for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say I felt like giving up before too, but like understanding that it's a journey and it's a process and things aren't gonna really happen overnight. So if you want something bad enough, I'm gonna go for it and keep like hustling type thing until I get there. So like giving up just isn't an option.
Mhm.
I mean, giving up is a part of the thought process of success. I mean, you always gonna think about it. You always gonna think about giving up. You always gonna run into obstacle. But I was one day I was in a meeting and a wise man told me, he said, never confuse movement with progress. And then I had him dissect that statement and say, what do you mean? What's the difference between moving and progress? We both doing the same thing, going the same way, but except he's gaining and I'm just moving for nothing. So when you separate the different way, and I think that everybody in his career gonna always come across a stumbling block where you feel like giving up, but that's what strengthens you for real.
Mhm. I really like that, especially when you. Some people we discussed this yesterday with our site visit, but some people see failure and they run away from that. But if you see failure as a chance to grow and as to progress, it's something that could really help you like in your career. So yeah, I really like that sentiment. And another question that I will have for y'all is, being that y'all have encountered those hardships, being that y'all have encountered those difficulties and yet still managed to be successful in your field, what advice would you give to the youth who may be going through something, that they're who are interested in the creative field, the art field, but they just feel like they can't break through?
Um, I always live life by acronyms. So I say an acronym called SAD, speak, act, and dress according to the position you want, not the one you hold. And then I say never confuse movement with progress. I always say just because you're doing a lot don't mean you're getting it done. And always
Mm.
create, always move forward, never fall backwards, fall forward. And always remember, a person with no vision for their future will always return to their past. You gotta
Mm,
always remember that forward is forward, backward is backwards. Never be afraid to be different. Stand up and stand out. Yellow
mm,
ain't black and black ain't yellow. That don't mean you don't compare. Stand up in a room full of sheeps and be the different one.
mm,
And always remember, no matter what you do, put God first.
mm.
You hit that right on the head.
Facts.
I'm gonna have to steal a few of those right there.
Hey man, I tell you one thing, man. Like my
Alright.
success come. I do a lot, so I like a lot. Like a mortuary, I do it so much. But one thing you gotta do is find time to read and strengthen yourself, your spirituality and your
Mhm.
physicality, because it's important that you know where your strength come from and where to go at when you get weak to get your strength. So
Right.
that's important, man. And appreciate everything that comes your way, the good, the bad, and always treat people how you want to be treated. And God will always protect you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I didn't even know it started.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know it started, y'all. All right, my name is Peyton. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you.
I do have questions. I don't know what questions they have already asked you, but I hope it's not the same as my questions. All right. For the artist, as in like that does painting and stuff like that, why have you like? Oh, my bad. I wrote it down. Um, Tell me how you developed your art career so far.
Um, it started with just going to. I went to a sip and paint by accident one day, and I didn't want to like do what they were doing, so I did my own thing, and I liked it. So I went and bought me some canvases, and I just kept painting to the point my family thought I was going crazy. I'm doing 3 paintings a day. And even my job allowed me to start bringing canvases to work and start painting. And I would allow the kids in the program to paint with me. And I was seeing how therapeutic it was becoming for me. I wasn't even thinking about selling anything or trying to give them to anybody. It was just a release for me. And then people started inquiring about the pieces I was working on. And somebody I was working with bought one. And then from that moment forward, I said, hey, I could do this. And I just took it and I ran with it. And I ain't looked back.
Okay. Well, how did that help with your mental health? Like,
It
how did that?
was the canvas became my therapist to where I couldn't talk to anybody about how I felt or didn't think anybody understood what I was going through. And I was dealing with a lot of losses at the time. Um, I would like to think that it kind of saved me and gave me a totally different outlook on life. So it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, I relate to that because I don't know how to paint or anything or all that art stuff, but I am creative in ways where I can like express myself, even though I'm not like a great artist, but I do draw sometimes, and music is also a way
But right,
to help
but
myself.
right there, that's the wrong mindset. You are a great artist. We don't. What are you comparing you to?
Mm.
I don't
Ooh.
know.
What is great?
Because you're right. Because like if I looked at my work, to some I wouldn't be a great artist. I know I got a lot of friends in the space that are phenomenal, amazing. Like right now, the mural behind me, a lot of people did, and they're technically they're technically probably better, right? But that doesn't take away from what I do, because what I do they can't do. And that's how you gotta look at yourself. Like, hey, you may not be able to do this, but you do what you do to your best extent.
Okay. Thank you. But my other question is describe your dream project.
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
And this
My
and this
my
is are you talking about on the artist level? Or it's three different styles of people here.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know.
like
I'm talking to like the artist as in like painter still.
all right, okay.
Yeah, I have y'all questions. I got y'all questions. But yeah.
my dream project would be something where I can incorporate my music and my art together
Okay.
and turn that into a masterpiece.
Mm.
I don't know what that looks like yet because I'm still in the process of creating that. But that would be the ideal project where I can have my art and my music uh, share the same stage.
Yep. Um. All right. To the music producer. Um. Okay. What accomplishments do you see yourself achieving in music, like being a music producer?
As far as a producer, I do a couple of things within that realm, from making beats to writing songs to
Oh,
collaborating people together to make a song, perhaps.
Hmm.
So some things would be like placements, working with certain artists, projects. I want to like kind of, in a way, be like a female Khaled, like with my own spin on it. So I would like to curate my own type of projects and like make the beats on it, potentially record the artist too, and then like traveling along with the music because I enjoy traveling a lot as well.
Me too. I like traveling, even though I haven't been much places yet, but it is nice to get out of my city.
Right.
Uh, what makes a good song?
Hmm. Um, I would say the message. A lot of songs can go viral, but I think like a real good song is like a song that's timeless and that delivers a good message. People that a song that people can relate to. Um, the beat also is a part of that. The artist. Um, I feel like it's a lot of pieces that goes into the song.
Yeah, my opinion of it, I think a good song is something that like can inspire somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
I also agree with the message because when I listen to a song, it's like you can almost like feel it like it's a story. So when you get like a strong theme into a song, I feel like it just makes it great.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. Uh, I'm trying to pick. I wrote a lot of questions down for y'all, and I'm trying to pick some. Okay. So the music producer. What made like? How are you connected with music in a way?
Um, I feel like it's like a large part of me. It kind of like fuels my spirit in a way. It's a big part of like my daily life. I listen to music like all day, all the time. If I'm not listening to it, I'm making it, whether it's writing or producing or rapping. So, and then on top of that, like he was saying, how art is a therapy and a way to release for him. I feel like writing is too. Like I won't talk about a lot of stuff or experiences, but I'll just write a whole song about it, and then that's my way of how I release it. So.
Okay. And last question for you. How familiar are you with audio equipment and software?
I'm pretty familiar. I'm actually in school for audio engineering now, so I'm learning how to. I know how to do basic recording, but like mixing and making the vocals sound crisp and everything, I'm learning with that. And they also teach us live sound for like events and shows and stuff like that too.
Oh, okay. Well, that seems nice. And luckily, you're in school for all of that, because some people they just be producing a lot of stuff that don't even be good. But and this is for the influencer. What is your process for collaborating with brands?
who that question for?
The influencer.
That'd probably be me then. Um, I coll- I collaborate with brands by like, so for instance, like I get invited to a lot of different stuff, like for New Balance, for say like Nike might say, hey, we having a conference. I just go out and get invited and then bridge the gap. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So
Um.
it's like
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. So it's like with me, one business started the another. Like I started DJing, then I started party promoting, then I started managing, then I started the security company, then I got the black trucks. So it was like everything that in line with music and what music needed, I went and got it. And
I
now
got a
it's
question
like,
for you.
yeah,
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Keep going.
yeah. So now it's like I sit back and I just be like, wow, this is amazing. But like this past weekend, I was at Broccoli Fest. I was with Finesse two times, had rented my trucks, and then on Sunday Lola Brooke. So I get to meet the people by what I create.
Oh, you met Lola Brooke?
Yeah, she rented her manager rented my trucks. Yep.
I got a question for you though. How do you go about deciding what artists you want to work with? Do you find them or do they find you?
Everything I do through my spirit. Like I meet people and I see their intentions. Then I sit with them, I chat with them, and then I figure out what ways that I know I can move them through the things that um, I know I can supply, and I just get with them and see their vision. But together we got to work together. So it's not like I'm sitting back or you sitting back and I'm working and you ain't, or you working and I ain't. We gotta every day get up and work towards our goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really choose people. People kind of choose me. I just be on my move. I meet a person and I throw them in the spotlight.
Um, my second question is, what brands have you worked with in the past?
When Shoe City started their first street team, I used to work with them. Well, Stokey
Hmm.
had it. I used to market for DTLR. I worked with New Balance, Asics. Um, I became a partner in Nacho Bangers because I actually did his marketing, and then I used to market for Roca, and then I had did a campaign for safe sex for the health department. It's just like I get pulled so many different ways. Now I do some marketing for Interscope and Universal and Victor Victor, which is labels that's based out of New York. So it's always something different.
That's good. This is a question for everybody. So, what music genre do y'all listen to? Like, what type of music do y'all listen to?
Well, I love gospel.
Oh,
It's funny. I DJ and everything. I love gospel and R&B. Like I love gospel. Like one of my favorite artists is Cleante Gavin. He does something to my spirit. Zacardi Cortez. Like I love gospel. It frees my mind.
I like all types
I
of
like.
music. Oh, I'm sorry. I like all types of
No,
music,
go
but
ahead.
I think my favorites are hip hop and R&B.
Me, I'm a R&B guy. I like relationship rap, like the Wale, the Joe Buttons, Cole, and R&B.
me myself, I like mostly like old school R&B. What I mostly listen to, like songs from. But I don't know. I can't really give people, but I like listen to that.
Yeah, similar. I like a bit of everything, but I do love me some R&B, some hip hop, a little bit of gospel. I just been getting into gospel, but yeah, those parts. So now we would kind of like to open the questions up to the chat because I've seen a couple questions there. So we have one question: what is your favorite parts of your job, of all of your jobs? What would y'all say are your favorite parts?
I would say that I love what I do, and I feel like that's a big part of it because, like, I also have a 9 to 5. I'm not like a full time creative, so it's just like much more fulfilling when you like enjoy what you're doing, in my opinion. So
For me,
I
my
also had a
for me
question.
for me, my favorite part is being able to use the resources to come back and do things in the city. And as a platform, I'm a quiet storm. I'm not like a TV. Let me make it. I'll throw a whole event and be all the way in the back and tell my mom like, look like you did it. But it's always like being able to use what I go out and meet and bring it back to the city.
Mm.
I would say um, watching my watching my pain bring joy to someone else is probably favorite part for me. Seeing God put me through something, and I went through that, and then to watch another person look at uh, the same piece of art and have a totally different perspective on it, that brings them a joy. That's probably the dopest part of it all.
Another question is, this is interesting. Have you ever been discriminated against in your line of work?
Discriminated. Mm.
I feel like being a female in the male dominant industry, like I've definitely received comments like on my way to the DJ booth or like in the booth with other DJs and we're like rotating or switching out and they're like, oh, you're the DJ, like you're not a DJ, da 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 da. Like a lot of things because I'm a girl, they feel like, oh, like you can't do this or X, Y, and Z. So in that case, yeah, but I don't let that discourage me.
You always gonna get discriminated, and no matter what line of work you use. I mean, what line of work you do. First, because like in the industry, you from Baltimore, and one because, like I said, it's the kind of it's the style of the genre of music that you choose to do that doesn't open up a lot of doors. So, like, I think that's something that comes with the game. It's kind of like hate. You're gonna always get it. Like, be the best you.
Mm.
Um, Only discrimination I've seen is probably when I'm like out vending places and I run into a couple Karens that try to shut. I done had that happen. Try to shut my event down or stop my process, but I don't really pay too much attention to it.
Mhm. Another question is for our DJ producer. What made you become a DJ producer?
So in college, while I was a student, I was like promoting, and like one night while I was promoting, I realized like I didn't really enjoy promoting because sometimes I'd like have to study and then have to go to the club. But I was like, okay, this is how I was eating at the time. But then I realized when I was there that I was there because of the music. And like one night I just had this epiphany. I was in the middle of the club and I was just like staring at the DJ and I was like, I want to do what he's doing. And then I was in my dorm. I downloaded like a DJ app on my iPad and I just started like mixing songs on my iPad. And then I just kept pouring into it and realized like that's what I wanted to do. And then I got equipment, then I watched videos, and then from the DJing, that's when I started writing songs and making beats. So like he said, one thing kind of flowed into another. That's kind of like how it happened for me too.
A question from earlier in the chat was asked: do y'all experience creative blocks, and how do y'all handle it?
Mm.
You said, do we experience who?
Creative blocks.
I'll get like writer's block sometimes, but I'll just try to like change the scenery or like reset or something and try and get back in that groove.
Create a team, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, definitely you have creative blocks. I just try to um find a muse, something that inspires me. So that's when I can't come up with anything or I'm not feeling motivated to do anything. I just try to find a new muse.
Mhm.
Create a team that has your best interest, and when you get a creative block, that team that you trust in, let them create and trust in their creation. You can't do nothing in this world by yourself. So just like create a great team. Creative blocks are gonna happen. They're gonna happen. Yep.
Mhm. Let's get. Is DJ producing fun? Cyber asked.
Yes, it's fun to me. I like it a lot. That's why I keep doing it. And I'll just wake up and like, okay, what are we gonna do today? We're gonna create. And then just from like picking out all the different sounds from like the beginning to seeing how they all blend together at the end, and then you have like a full beat or a full song. It's fun for me. I like it.
And I believe we had another question. I think this is directed towards our planner or entertainer. Have you ever had to drop an artist for any particular reason?
Ever had to who?
Drop an artist for any reason?
Oh yeah. You walk away from a lot of people because a person not passionate about your talent, and a manager is not a label. So they think they want you to do label stuff, and you're a manager. There's a difference between a label. Label provides. Manager he kind of somewhat creates, but he really controls your daily schedule. So a manager is more like your partner for real. You just gotta get with them, create, and keep moving. But yeah, all the time. I deny artists.
Another question. What is the most important things you've done in your career yet?
Guys, I'm back.
One of the most important things I've done in my career was this past Christmas I was able to partner up with my artists and do a tennis shoe giveaway to any kids that for any shoe they ever wanted. I was sitting one day and I was thinking, like, man, imagine how many kids want to go in the store and get a Jordan but can only get a Fila. You feel me? So I was like, you know what? I got with my team and we got up with DTLR and we went and took 200 families to DTLR on Christmas to be able to get any shoe they want. And it changed the lives and it built relationships and things like that. That was one of the most important things I've ever done in my life. Felt good.
I would say investing in myself. I think that's definitely important. You gotta invest in yourself. If you want something, you gotta get the equipment. You gotta put in the time and practice and study, like all that. I feel like it's definitely important.
One of the most important things I've done so far, I would say, is like building my brand. I got to work with DTLR, got to work with Adidas. I had my first celebrity buy one of my paintings from Baltimore, with Just Hilarious, and that was like a goal for me, like to take being a painter, but treat it like a rapper. Where you're partnering up with brands and you're on the scene. And I had that goal. I stuck to it, and
Beautiful. Let's get two more questions for the chat. One being, what is one goal that you haven't accomplished yet?
For me, it would be releasing my own projects. I'm kind of, I guess I'm still trying to find my sound, and I was like kind of teeter tottering. I'm like kind of shy about releasing my stuff, but now I feel like I have a little decent catalog. So the goal would be to actually release music and put more things out.
One goal for me that I haven't accomplished yet is that I have a dream of opening like a big old rec center that has a lot to do with music, like the video shoots, the producing, the managing side, the flyers, the t-shirt, the marketing, what I want to open that up and hire a bunch of youth and then like have a management company straight out of Baltimore to partner up with some labels in New York and hire like young youth rappers, motivational young youth rappers that want to really like take big stages with big crowds and bring just put them on a show. See, like one month we might do Money Bag and a bunch of kids. It's just to help them fulfill their dreams for real.
And the last question for the chat: in 5 years, uh, do you still see yourself doing this career?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Any more questions for you, Peyton?
Um, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry, not to interrupt y'all, but the live isn't over yet. We still have a few more questions to go through the chat, so it's more questions. I kind of want all of you who are interacting in the chat to be able to get their questions off and be able to be heard as well. So I just want to let you guys know, like, if you can stay on a little longer, we have some more questions in the chat that we want to get answered.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Can y'all see me?
Now we can.
Okay. Back to my question. Would y'all like and like how can I explain it? Would y'all like try to influence people to, go in the steps that y'all went through?
Yeah, for sure. Like one of my long-term goals is eventually to have like some type of school or some type of program while I teach the youth how to create in like a musical way too.
Okay.
I would too. I would definitely teach them to be better for real. Because it's like now, with the world being so digital and easy to access things, I would definitely do it. Yep.
Okay. I agree because one, everything is getting taken over by robots and electronics. So everything is getting taken over. Oh, he wasn't here when I asked the questions. My question was, like, would you influence other people to go in the steps that you went through to be where you at?
Can you say it again?
Would you influence other people to go in the steps that you went through to be where you at to be a music artist period or anything?
Yeah. Yes. I definitely try to inspire and give people the game I have from what I acquired. So definitely.
Yeah, everyone else said they have like a program or something, and I agree it should be one because mostly every job now is mostly getting taken over by like robots, AI, or anything. Period. So I feel like it should be more humans doing stuff than letting robots take over. So because I don't think a music industry or an artist period should be done by a robot. So
Yeah,
that's just
agreed.
my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm out of questions. I don't have any more questions. So
Mr. Richard said
we're-
chat more. I seen one. Not the only thing we asked is how do y'all manage your schedules?
Time management, eliminating distractions. I write things down, so I have an agenda too and a planner, or I use my phone calendar so I can like stay organized.
That
Man,
Google Calendar.
Right.
not me. I'll be forgetting I got stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta work on time management. But I don't miss nothing. But I might get there late. Unless it's like a gig, of course I know, but like it's a lot.
that stuff a lot to manage.
Man. Woo.
Do we have another?
Yes, it says, are you proud of what you guys have accomplished throughout what you've been through?
Yes, I think there's like obviously there's still more work to be done, but I'm appreciative and proud of the journey so far.
I touch and agree. Same thing.
Another question: do y'all DJ at birthday parties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be the end of the chat question.
Well,
I really don't know. It just
well, we just like to. Yeah, we just like to thank you guys so much for taking time out your day to talk with us and the youth, and basically just give us so much insight. I learned a lot from this conversation, and it was really glad to see hear from y'all and how y'all career had developed. And if it's one thing I really am taking away from this is if you have something you're thinking about, you have something you're passionate about, start now, do it now, and don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about other people's perceptions because that's going to come regardless. Just focus on your passion, focus on your career, focus on where you want to be and what you want to do, and everything's going to end up fine. And thank you guys for sharing that.
All right. Thank you